Everyone knows LinkedIn is this incredible place to find leads, prospective clients, and generate more business for our our B2B service-based businesses, coaching, consulting firms. And yet, and yet, it's so common, unfortunately, that people say, well, I'm on LinkedIn and I'm posting a lot and I'm spending all this time and nothing seems to be happening. I'm not really generating any new business. It's confusing, right? You're hearing that it's this amazing thing, but somehow you're unable to really execute on that promise, right? That everybody talks about. And so today I'm going to talk about two ways to generate clients on LinkedIn. Okay, two ways to generate clients. And what's important here is that if you really want to maximize your time on LinkedIn, you really want both. Okay, so I'm not really making a case for one or the other. I really am making a case that you want to really go after both of these. Okay, I am Celina Guerrero. This is the Thrive Biz Chat, where I talk about what it really takes to run a thriving service based business. I am somebody who helps B2B CEOs, consultants, and high ticket coaches generate more clients through relationship based sales, meaning not only just doing marketing, but really going out and finding our clients out in the world in order to break through that revenue ceiling, have enough opportunities to be able to actually choose the clients we want to work with, right? We all know what it's like to not have a lot of opportunities and then feel like we kind of have to take the work because we have bills to pay. And also sort of get rid of this roller coaster revenue, right? So that is the work that I do. And I'm going to talk about these two ways which relate, of course, to that work. But before I do that, today is the 26th of January. If you're listening to this on Thursday, Feb 3, I have a free workshop and it's called How to Find Quality Clients on LinkedIn. I'm going to touch a little bit on that today, but that's going to go more into the in depth of like, they say there are all these amazing people out there. How do I actually find them? I'm going to put a link in the comments in the notes. You can find that. If you're listening to this after the 3rd, reach out to me anyway. We'll get you the information you need. But again, it's a Thursday, Feb 3, and it's how to find quality clients on LinkedIn, without feeling spammy, right? Without feeling desperate, without feeling intrusive, and not spending all day online. So that is the goal of that workshop. I'm going to help you understand more clearly how you accomplish that. Okay, so again, there's two ways to generate clients on LinkedIn, and here they are, okay? One is your client, your potential client, right? Your lead or prospect finds you, right? They find you. And the second option, the second way to generate clients is you find them. Okay, so two ways to generate clients on LinkedIn. Number one, your clients find you and reach out to you. You find your potential clients and you reach out to them. Those are the two options. Okay, that is kind of it. And I'm going to talk through each of those. And I'm going to kind of talk about the pros and cons. This is going to be pretty concise, but I want to kind of help you understand when I say your clients could find you, there's a couple of ways that could happen. And number one is they could be searching for somebody, right? They could be searching for, I don't know, a leadership coach. They could be searching for a organizational change management consultant, right? They could be searching for somebody to help them with whatever that problem is that they have. Okay. The second way they find you is that they might sometimes see you in the comments, right? Like, have you ever seen posts and somebody's commenting and you're like, wow, they really seem like they know what they're talking about. And that seems to be kind of interesting. And I really would like to learn more about them because, maybe there's somebody who could help me with this problem I have. The third way potential clients find you is through content, your specific content. So for example, let's say you're posting regularly, someone comments on your post and it goes into their networks, right. So it goes into, sorry, now I've got myself all confused. You know what I mean? So you're going to post content, right? I'm connected with you, hypothetically. I comment on it, and then all that shows up in my first connections feed, right? We're basically sharing content, and either sharing content or that content is showing up in my network's feed. And now someone sees you and they find you that way. They're like, ooh, this is interesting. And then the fourth way that potential clients find you is through external sources. That could be some list, that could be some event that they attended, that could be or some referral, whatever that looks like, right? And then when they enter your name into Google search, for example, I don't know if last time you Googled yourself, but LinkedIn is usually like number one. You should go Google yourself and find out. But then I kind of think about that as like, okay, well, they have found you on LinkedIn. They've come to this place, this network where they can learn more personal things about you, more business, solution related information about you. Okay. So those are the four ways that clients find you. Now, let's talk about how you find them. Now, guess what? They're the same exact four things. They're the same exact four things. Okay. So they're going to find, you have the opportunity to search for people, your ideal client out on LinkedIn, right? You have the ability to find your potential client in comments based on posts that you're engaged on. You have the opportunity to find potential clients through content that shows up in your feed from connections. And then you have the opportunity to look at external resources. Again, that could be, there's so many different ways that people can learn about you, and then you can go and find them on LinkedIn and reach out, learn more about them, and reach out to them directly. Okay. So it's kind of like, it's like a dating site, right? Like, both parties are coming together. And the interesting thing is but it's not, it's not like a dating site in the sense that both parties are coming together. It's not a matchmaking in that way. So it's a little more random, right? One of these actions has to take place. It's also not like a Facebook group. LinkedIn is not like a Facebook group. If you've been part of Facebook groups, it's like that typically acts as a very specific container with a group of people that are specifically interested around a certain topic. Okay. When you think about LinkedIn, even though it has groups, they're not quite as effective. I would say they're not really effective by a long shot compared to Facebook groups, but as LinkedIn as the professional network, right? It's not specifically a matchmaking site, if you will, and it's not a containered group, right? There has to be some way to generate clients and some way to connect with them, right? And those are through the four ways that I talked about. So the problem with relying just on them finding you, the reason I should say it's not really a problem, but what happens is, if you are only waiting for them to find you, right, through your content or through searches, whatever, the problem is that basically you're just relying on them to actually know they have a problem and then go out and search for you. Issues with that include, certainly, they don't know how to search for you, right? Like sometimes people's problems they don't even know what title am I looking for. Sometimes they don't even know they have a problem, right? They don't even know they have a problem. Sometimes they don't even know there's a solution to their problem. Like how often is that, right? And they also sometimes don't even have the time, right? This is so common, right? Business to business. They have a problem. They don't even have time to look for a solution. And so you're really limiting yourself by putting the full weight of the responsibility, if you will, on your potential clients to come looking for you. right? And then what if they do a search and they don't find you, right? So I would like to make a case for doing wait, sharing the content, making, commenting and showing up, making sure your profile is found in a search, right? Making sure you're doing all of the things to make sure that they can find you in a search, in the comments, in content you're sharing, okay? But I also want to say, if you also can go do that search for your ideal client and reach out to them, right? You're helping them not have to make the time, right, to figure out the solution. You're helping them um really almost identify their problem, right? Like they didn't even know there was a solution, and now you're coming to them and saying, "Hey, I know what you're dealing. I have a good sense that you're probably dealing with this issue, right? And I solve for it, and here's how. Like, it is solvable, right? You're coming to the table in that way. And you're adding um this is also really important. When you actually connect with your ideal client, not only are you taking responsibility in terms of owning some of the time that it takes to connect with clients, owning that the ability to help people understand better what their problem is, understand better that there is a solution to their problem, right? And lastly, if you're connecting with people and they become a first connection, all the content that you've created, all the comments that you're making, right, are exponentially valuable, right? What often happens, especially on the content side, is you're sharing content, but you're sharing it in a marketing bubble. You're sharing it with very often that content it's putting the responsibility on somebody else to share that in order to reach those new people. And in this way, you're bringing more people to potentially hear the messages that you're sending through the content. This is similar to email, right? Like if you're with your email list, hopefully you have one, right? The more people that are actually reading your emails, like the greater the likelihood they'll become clients, right? If you only have 10 people and you never add to that, like the benefit, to outcome ratio is, whatever, what am I saying? The effort to outcome ratio isn't very big, right? But you could spend the time on, that same email. And if you had like 10,000 pieces of people versus that one email and like 10 people, right? That's the same thing I'm talking about when you go out and you find potential clients and you bring them into your world. All that content now is seen by, 2 times, 10 times, 100 times the number of people. Okay. So I really encourage you to think about this. And I would ask the question, when is the last time you went out and you identified somebody who could be a potential client and they became a client, right? And so much of us rely on, sharing content and comments. And I would make a case that in order to really, as I said earlier, create consistency in your business, not only rely on those referrals, um, break through your revenue ceiling, right? And generate enough opportunities that you don't have to take the client just because you need the work, right? In order to accomplish those, if those are important to you, if those are goals of yours, then ensuring that you're taking both roads, right? You're putting yourself out there in a way that makes sure that they can find you, but you're also taking the actions that is helping you find them. Okay. Now, I will just add this one little addendum, which is to say, you may not have the time for that, right? So, what I would say is you can hire somebody to do that, right? But that's a whole nother story, right? You'll need to determine, who are you going after? What are you saying? What is this person's life like, so that when you come and enter into their world and you introduce yourself, there is a high level of relevancy and you're not going to end up feeling like that's horrible spammy stuff messages that you get all the time on LinkedIn right now. Okay. A big sort of resistance around that is like, oh, I don't want to be that person, right? But this there I'm just here to say there's a way of approaching this that isn't anything like the kinds of awful messages, that automated messages that you receive. Okay. So again, let me remind you that I have a free workshop on February 3rd. It's 10 a.m. Pacific. Link is in the notes, is in the comments. You can always reach out to me directly on LinkedIn, or you can message me, or you can find me on my website. Again, that's celinaguerrero.com. I'll put that in the notes, in the comments. And just remember, the first step is being able to understand how I can find quality clients and how do I find them. And then you make a plan for reaching out to them. And if you join this workshop on the 3rd, I'm going to help you get to that first step and really, really examine and really just have a sort of not just like, oh, I think they're out there, but like, oh, I actually know how to find them. I have real criteria, and it's going to be really beneficial to you if you want to begin to look at this other option, which is not only waiting for people to find you, but going out and finding them. Thank you for listening so much. I really appreciate your spending your time. I hope that whatever I've just said to you is sparking ideas and helping you generate more in your business. I will see you hopefully on February 3rd. Bye.